Hi, my name is Chris Cardillo. I'm talking from virtuallegalshow.com. Just wanted to mention that we are going to be live on May 31st. We are giving away a new iPad 3. You just have to come in and register, and or even come down and sign up for a free newsletter. We do have on this website quite a few keynote areas, speeches that we put together, videos that we put together, training videos. All this is free, so just come right in and take a look at the video that I'm going to show you, or some of the other videos that we've actually put together. There's quite a bit of information from myself and from my sponsors, so come visit us. Now today what we're going to talk about is PowerPoint 2010 in about 20 minutes. So the first thing we want to talk about here is PowerPoint 2010 and why you want to move to 2010. If you have an older version of of PowerPoint, it's prime time to switch over to PowerPoint 2010, because PowerPoint 2010, and you probably have seen some of the videos that are out there on YouTube or elsewhere, how a lot of people have been saying that Microsoft has even ripped off the Keynote, because Keynote was always said, oh well, it's Keynote from Apple is was a better presentation tool than PowerPoint. Right, so that's something that a lot of people were saying for so many years, and but a lot of Keynote people, once they saw the new PowerPoint 2010, said, "Wow, that is very Keynote-esque." So it looks a lot like Keynote in terms of the capabilities, the features, and the functionality. So there's a lot more in 2010 that you just didn't have in any of the previous versions of PowerPoint. So in any case, we're going to get started here. We're going to create a new PowerPoint presentation, and the thing I want to talk about in PowerPoint, and basically anything in the Office 2010 suite, is that we have this ribbon bar at the top, which we have to get used to, and it's different from the old file edit type toolbar that Microsoft had previously. So as you'll see, as we go into different fields, you'll see other things such as like this drawing tools will appear as an option for us, because that tab doesn't exist if I don't click into it. So you notice it disappears. As soon as I click into it, it reappears, and it gives me the format toolbar, right? So there's things I can do once I'm in this box. If I want to make that different color or not, right? Shape fill, no fill, right? Or shape outline, actually, no outline. Okay. All right. So this is going to be my title. This is my subtitle. Okay. Doesn't look all that pretty at this point. So what I want to do is come into the design view. And I can choose one of the many templates that Microsoft has already developed for me. And a lot of these templates are absolutely spectacular looking. So you don't even have to worry about creating something yourself, right? So I can come in here, and this is my cool title, right? And so it just does all the work for me. Notice it's all right there. If I don't like this, I can come and just choose a different one, a different format. This is a very nice option. I like this one. You come in and choose a different one. See, there you go. All right, so you don't have to change any of your text. It does all of the sizing and the color schemes for you. You just apply a new theme, right? And it applies throughout all of your slides throughout your entire presentation. So let's go with this one for now. I can always change that later. And we're going to come in here and add a new slide. Now, if I drop down here on the home page, I'm going to come into the new slide option, and I can choose the type of slide that I want. So here's a title slide. I can do a blank slide, do a 2-column slide, a picture with caption, a title only, or a section header. Right? So these are just some of the options that we can use here. So here, I'll create this slide right here, and this is going to be some text, right? Here's the title. Really like this slide. This is really not the type of slide that I want, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change the layout of this one to make it more like a title slide, right? I can also come in here and change the layout again and just make it a title slide, right? So this guy is my text. I can just move him around, okay? And I'm going to make that text here. Here's my title, so let's say this is going to be a presentation on PowerPoint. So PowerPoint do's and don'ts, right? So here's the text, and it says here we're going to type in our first text item. You can move anything around easily, right? If I hit return again, it's going to give me another dot, dots up here. You hit return. So now basically what I'm in is a little box. Okay, this is like a shape box, right? We can actually copy this shape box right there, just like this. Copy and paste, and now I can take that shape box and move that down. You see how I did that? So it's really not that hard. It works just like a Microsoft Word or an Excel, where you just do cut and paste, copy and paste, and you can move things around. You can even take, let's say if I want this title from this title slide over here, I like this box, I can come in there and copy that box and move that over onto this page and paste that box right here, right? So there it is. There's that box, and notice that I'm only editing this box right here. I'm not editing this text because I'm not in that box. So sometimes it makes it a little tricky, because in order to edit this text underneath here, I actually have to edit that box, right? That text box. Okay, so basically you got to just sometimes move things around just a little bit. And notice, when it turns into the 4 arrows, when I'm hovering over a text box, it allows me to move this thing around. I can move it up and down, right? And I can apply drawing features to it as well. So if I want to make this box, I'm going to put a border around it, right? Now it's covered up the other stuff behind it. So what I need to do then is send this backwards, send it backwards, send it backwards, send it backwards. Now it's behind the other text, right? So now this title, I can edit it there. These boxes, I can edit those separately. Okay, so that's how I just did that. Here we have some arrows. These are very helpful, especially when you're doing flow charting or you're doing timelines. This happened at this point. Here's another arrow, right? And that's in the drawing tools, right? And that appears when you have tools highlighted, right? Otherwise, you're on your home screen. You can actually come right in here and choose your arrows or your boxes and choose that, right? And that creates the drawing tools tab up here for you to edit it, right? So again, we're here on the home screen. We can come in and choose one of these many different flowchart type items, right? Block arrows. This happened here. Here's a basic shape. Here's a text box. This is something else that you want to be able to use a lot of. Okay, so here's a text box. So I'm going to say some more text, right? So I can, oops, let's go back to this slide. Kind of highlight this slide, move it down here. See? So this happened first, right? And I'm going to move that down here. So that happened first, and then some more text happened, right? So there's your little arrow. Okay, it's a little hard to see, I think. So we can come in here to the drawing tools and say, okay, I'm going to make that black maybe. And now I can see it better. Okay, fantastic. So now it's starting to come together a little bit. If I like this slide, okay, I can easily right-click and duplicate the slide. That creates a new slide down here, right? And now I can go ahead and say, this is not do's and don'ts. This is recommendations, right? There we go. I can stretch this out just a tad. Right, so now it comes out. Another thing I could have done here to make it fit is to come in and change the heading and made it just a little bit smaller. Okay, get rid of this guy, go in here, and I just change take out some of this stuff. Now, one thing I love is to be able to highlight this whole thing. So now this highlights basically everything around there, and I've just hit one delete. Now I've just deleted everything that I've just highlighted. You see how I did that? I can certainly come in here and undo, right? But basically what I did was to select all of these items to delete them. I just started from above it, went all the way around it, right? Now I highlighted all those items, and now I can delete them, right? Now, we came in here and we started off with the dots here. Let's say we wanted to change that to numbers. We can. It's very easy. Come in here and select numbers. Oops. Let's do numbers 2 for that one. Right. So now we have 1, 2, and then we hit return. It'll create a third one. Right. So now we've converted the dots into numbers. Right. We can also do it the opposite way and actually change it back to dots. Okay. So we wanted to center that. Doesn't really look good, in presentations. I think, left adjusting is perfect for what we need. If we wanted to change the size, it's very easy. It works just like Microsoft Word. You highlight what you want to make a different font or a different size, and you can do that. You can also come in here and change the color of what you want to make it here for presentation. Okay, fantastic. So we've done some basic stuff here, and now what we want to do is come into Insert. Okay, so this is where PowerPoint now gets a little bit more advanced than where it had been before. You can come in and add some clip art. You can add pictures. You can add video. And that's one of the features that it added, from before. All this stuff can be embedded right into your PowerPoint, and you can actually do things with your video. Once you've embedded your video, you can actually turn it to the side, make it play upon upon the slide being shown. You can do audio. If you don't have audio, you can actually record the audio. So it has a lot of great features that you have right there. You also have your slide numbering, so you can change the numbers on your slides, right? The other thing that we can do is we can come in and change. We talked about changing all of the slide look and feel, by just changing it immediately through here, through the design view, right? And now it applies that view to all of our slides, and if you notice, all the coloring also changes as well. So it's a fantastic way to quickly edit your templates. Now, for your firm, you actually create a template for your firm, you can apply that template immediately by just creating your template and then applying that style. And that's a fantastic way to brand your firm. Now we're going to come into the transitions, and this is so when you're showing it on the screen, this is where the transitions make it look very spectacular. And this is where a lot of the Apple people were saying, wow, this is much different PowerPoint than we were used to. So here you've got dissolve, right? So this is how it would show. Cover, right? Random bars, split screen, reveal, right? So these are all the transitions. So as it comes in, these are the transitions between going from this page to this page to this page. That's called transition. Okay, so you come into the transitions page, and that allows you to do that. Now you can also come in here and change the duration of your transition. You can drop down and choose many other transitions that are there. And you can apply sounds to your transitions. You can make the advanced slide happen on a certain time frame or on a mouse click. Okay, typically we do it on a mouse click, but you can automate your transitions so that this happens without you even touching it. You can even do voiceover on your transitions so that you don't even have to speak. As the slideshow is presenting. So you can actually record your voice, and the whole slideshow will be automated. And this can be very helpful. So if you're preparing for trial or you're doing a trial presentation, if you want to script out exactly what you want to say, and you don't want to deviate from that script, and you really want it to be perfected, so you can practice, review until it's down to a science, and then use your presentation to just show that to the jury or to the court. So you can actually use this in a very powerful manner using the transitions. The animations just gives you a lot of ways of taking a particular element, and you can say, I want to, this something. Let's come inside here. So on these guys, let's say if I want to highlight this guy right here, and I want to fly him in, right? This guy will be flown in as well, and this guy will be flown in as well, right? So you can set these triggers up so that they can fly in as you are speaking, so that people are not going to read this while you're talking about this, and they won't read this until you talk about this, right? So you can actually set these to fly in, and you can use any of these. There's quite a few different animations: float in, wipe in, shape it in. There's still a lot more to even look at. We've got wave, split, bounce. Some of these you probably won't want to use, but certainly it adds a little bit of movement to your presentation, which can be quite quite boring if you do it the wrong way. So this is a way to add that kind of spectacular piece to your presentation. So now if we come into the animation pane, right, we can actually see how this stuff works. And I love the animation pane. It's a little bit advanced, for this type of lesson, but I just wanted to kind of show you at least when you come into the animation pane that you can actually see how this stuff is going to happen. So on first mouse click it's going to do this, second mouse click it's going to do this, and notice that because it's that bounce thing it takes a little longer, right? And then the third mouse click it'll do this one, right? You can actually use these little buttons over here and highlight them and say, okay, I want let's say this dot and this dot to come in together, right? So you can group those things. So all of those things can be constructed, but this is where you do it. Okay, it's under the Animations tab. Right? Now if we come into the slideshow, this is really where we're going to do our dry run. Now remember F5, and we'll make a new slide about this. New slide, right? And say to present your slideshow, press F5, right? So F5 will show your slideshow, and if you notice, now it comes in and you can actually go through all of your items, and so there it is. You know, hit the Enter key, and typically what you're going to have is you're going to have a device, a clicking device, you know, with your laptop that's hooked up to your laptop, or if you're using your iPad or something like that, you're going to have some sort of remote device that you're going to use to point with and to click with. And you know, they're not terribly expensive, but it's worthwhile having those so that you're not linked to your laptop when you're doing your presentation. So and so you can usually move forward, move back using those devices, right? So here you got, you know, in this slideshow you can actually create it or watch your slideshow from the beginning, from your current slide, and it has some other features that are built into. You can rehearse your timings and record your slideshow. It's a fantastic way. You know, here's also where you come in to change your resolution, so you can actually turn this into a webcast by using one of the standard formats. So it's a 640 by 480 is one of the typical webcast sizes. So you can actually change the way it's going to look, and you do that right here under the resolution tab, right? And that's about it for today. We'll talk more about some more advanced features in the PowerPoint. But before I go, I just want to come right back in here and just say, under the File tab, we're going to do some of the basic features of saving as, opening, closing, and even going into some of your recent or even creating a new presentation, right? And then lastly, you've got your print and then your save and send. So basically, if you know, all the typical things that you would have done in the old Microsoft PowerPoint, you will be able to do here under File. So the old PowerPoint file gave you a lot of those features. Same thing here, except for they've just added, you know, aesthetically it looks better, and they've kind of moved things around so it looks a little different. But certainly you can publish the slides and save the slides, email the slides, and all in the same type of manner that you would have in the old PowerPoint. So without further ado, that's it for today. I am going to sign off, and I look forward to training you on the next PowerPoint video more extensively, and thanks again.